Welcome back to Pocket Change Coins. Hidden treasures could be sitting in your pocket right now, rare US coins worth serious money. Make sure to like and subscribe for more incredible finds and coin collecting tips. Let's jump right in. First, we're diving into the incredible story of a simple nickel, yes, the United States 5-cent coin from 1975 with the Denver D mint mark, and how some rare versions of this coin have stunned collectors by reaching unbelievable values. Stick around, because we're about to unlock the hidden secrets behind this little piece of American change that could be worth way more than you think. Now, at first glance, the 1975 D Jefferson nickel doesn't seem like anything out of the ordinary. It features the familiar profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with his historic home Monticello on the reverse. But as with many coins in U.S. history, it's not about what you see at first glance, it's about the details, the minting mistakes, and the near-perfect strikes that elevate a basic coin into a valuable collector's treasure. Let's begin with what makes the 1975 D nickel special. This coin was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark next to Jefferson's portrait. While millions were produced for general circulation, a very small number of them were struck under unusual conditions. Some were minted with incredible precision, showing every fine line of detail. These are called full steps nickels. On the reverse, at the base of Monticello, are a series of steps. Most circulated nickels show blurred or mushy steps, but the rare full steps versions display 5 to 6 crisp, uninterrupted lines. Finding a full steps 1975 D nickel in excellent condition is like striking gold for collectors. Now, let's talk about minting errors. These are the exciting and often unexpected mistakes that can turn a common coin into a rare and highly valuable collectible. Point 1 of the most dramatic and desirable errors is the off-center strike. When a coin is struck off its center axis, the design shifts to one side, leaving a crescent-shaped blank area on the coin. If the date and mint mark are still visible, these coins become instant collector favorites, and the more off-center, the higher the value. Another error that raises eyebrows and auction prices is the double die obverse. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin shifts slightly during production, causing the date, lettering, or other design features to appear doubled. On a 1975 D nickel, if you notice shadows or duplicate outlines around "Liberty, in God We Trust," or the date itself, you could be holding a valuable double die error. And don't forget about clipped planchets, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a miscut during production. This error creates a unique, bite-like indentation along the edge of the coin and is highly sought after in nickels of the 1970s. Then there are wrong planchet errors, incredibly rare coins that were mistakenly struck on metal blanks meant for other denominations or even foreign coins. These coins are often lighter or smaller than usual, and sometimes even have a different color tone. If your 1975 D nickel feels oddly light or looks off color, do not ignore it. It could be a rare planchet error worth serious money. So, how can you identify if your 1975 D nickel is a rare gem? Start with a careful visual inspection. Look at the steps on Monticello. Can you count 5 or 6 full steps without interruption? That's a full steps variety, and you're on the right track. Next, use a magnifying glass to check for doubling on the text or numbers on the front of the coin. Then examine the coin's edges. Is it evenly shaped? Is there any sign of clipping? Does the design appear off-center? And most importantly, don't clean the coin. Even if it looks dirty, cleaning can ruin its value. Leave it as is, and if you believe you have something special, consider sending it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC for evaluation and certification. Now, let's talk about why collectors are going crazy for this coin. Recently, rare 1975 D nickels with full steps and verified error features have sold at auction for shocking amounts. One particularly sharp example with both a bold off-center strike and pristine full steps detail was graded by PCGS and sold for a record-breaking price. And now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. A 1975 D Jefferson nickel, in pristine condition with rare error features and certified full steps, has been sold for a staggering $50,000. That's right, $50,000 for a 5-cent coin. Incredible, isn't it? And that's the magic of coin collecting. Sometimes, the coins we overlook every day are the ones that hold hidden treasures. So start searching through your drawers, your piggy banks, your old jars of change. Because you never know, you just might be holding the next great discovery. If you've ever found a strange 1975D nickel, or if you have questions about how to spot these valuable features, drop a comment below. I love hearing from fellow collectors and helping you figure out if you're holding something truly rare. Second rare coin, we're talking about the legendary 1943p Jefferson nickel, a war-era 5-cent coin that collectors dream of finding in pristine condition, especially if it comes with rare errors. And yes, some of these coins have shocked the auction world, with values soaring sky-high for the right specimen. Stay with me till the very end of this video, because we're going to reveal just how much this tiny coin can actually be worth, and trust me, the number will blow your mind. Let's step back into 1943, a time when America was deep in the trenches of World War II. The war effort had a huge impact on everyday life, including the coins in our pockets. Nickel, a vital metal for making armor and other military tools, became too precious to use for coins. So, the U.S. Mint made a drastic change. From 1942 to 1945, nickels were struck using a special wartime alloy of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. That's right, the 1943p Jefferson nickel isn't your ordinary coin. It's one of the few nickels ever made with real silver, which already makes it valuable to collectors and investors. But what turns it from a Silver War relic into a numismatic superstar are the rare errors, varieties, and ultra-high grades that make certain versions worth a fortune. Let's get into the magic behind the coin. First, the mint mark. On most Jefferson nickels, the mint mark appears to the side of Monticello. But in 1943, something unusual happened. The P mint mark, representing the Philadelphia Mint, was placed above Monticello's dome on the reverse of the coin. This was the first time in U.S. history that a Philadelphia coin carried a mint mark, and that placement alone makes it iconic. But now, let's talk about what makes some 1943p nickels exceptionally rare. One of the most thrilling varieties is the double die reverse, DDR. You'll know you found one if the lettering on the back, especially E pluribus unum or Monticello, appears to have a shadow or doubled effect. This error happened when the die used to strike the coin shifted slightly, creating two impressions. These doubled varieties are rare and can sell for thousands even in average condition. Next up, we have the full steps variety. On the reverse of the coin, check the steps leading up to Monticello. Most nickels have worn or poorly struck steps. But a few extremely well-struck coins have 5 or 6 clearly defined steps. These are called full steps nickels, and collectors go wild for them. Finding a 1943p with full steps and a high grade from PCGS or NGC is like striking silver, literally and figuratively. Then come the rare planchet and strike errors. Some 1943p nickels were accidentally struck on the wrong metal, such as on leftover copper planchets or thin blanks. These off-metal errors are astonishingly rare and have made headlines at major auctions. There are also off-center strikes, where part of the design is shifted and a portion of the coin is blank. If the date and mint mark are still visible, these coins are not just collectible, they're rare art pieces born from minting mishaps. Even clipped planchets, where part of the coin is literally missing due to a mispunched blank, can dramatically increase the value. Combine that with silver content, war history, and sharp design, and you've got a collector's dream. So, how can you know if your 1943p nickel is one of the valuable ones? First, look for the bold P above the Monticello dome. Then examine the reverse with a magnifier. Do you see any doubling in the letters or the steps? Are the steps clearly struck from left to right, with no breaks? Flip the coin and inspect the obverse. Is it perfectly centered? Are there any signs of doubling or strange shadows on Liberty or the date? Also weigh your coin. A war nickel should weigh about 5 grams. If it's lighter or heavier, you may have a wrong planchet strike, and that could be jackpot territory. But whatever you do, don't clean the coin. Cleaning damages the surface and can instantly drop the value by thousands. If you believe your coin is rare, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification gives your coin credibility in the collector's market and helps it fetch top dollar at auction. Now let's talk numbers. Just recently, a stunning example of a 1943 P. Jefferson nickel, featuring razor-sharp details, full steps, and graded MS-68, was auctioned at a major coin event. Add in a slight strike-through error and perfect mint luster, and this tiny war-era coin ended up commanding a jaw-dropping figure. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. A rare 1943 P. Jefferson nickel with all the right ingredients: silver composition, error features, full steps, and brilliant uncirculated condition, was sold at auction for an incredible $200,000. Yes, you heard that right. $200,000 for a 5-cent coin. This is not just a collector's item. It's a story of American resilience, wartime necessity, and the fascinating mistakes that make these coins worth far more than their face value. It's why coin collectors search tirelessly, because hidden in your coin jar could be a piece of history worth more than a luxury car. What are you waiting for? Check your old change, talk to your grandparents, go through your childhood coin collection. That plain-looking nickel could be your ticket to something life-changing. Third expensive coin, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1985 P. United States 5-cent coin, a coin that's not just a part of everyday spending history, but in some cases, a shockingly rare collectible that's grabbed the attention of serious numismatists and auction houses alike. So, coin lovers and curious minds, buckle up and listen closely, because what you're about to learn could literally change the way you see pocket change forever. Let's start with the basics. The 1985 P nickel was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the small letter P on the obverse, just to the right of Thomas Jefferson's portrait. On the surface, this coin might seem common. After all, millions were produced. But not all 1985 P nickels were created equal. Some contain incredibly rare features and minting errors that make them worth thousands, and in one extreme case, even tens of thousands. So what makes this coin so special? One of the most talked about features is the full steps variety. On the reverse of the coin, under Monticello, you'll find a staircase, and here's where things get interesting. Most nickels from the 1980s show blurred or incomplete steps due to worn dies used during high-speed production. But a small number of 1985 P nickels feature crisp, clearly separated steps, what collectors call full steps. This level of detail is rare and commands a premium in the collector's market. If your nickel shows 5 or 6 complete steps without breaks, you may be holding a gem, but it gets even more exciting when we bring mint errors into the conversation. Some 1985 P nickels were struck on defective planchets or misaligned dies, causing dramatic and valuable errors. Among the most sought after are off-center strikes, where part of the coin is missing or shifted. Coins with 5 to 15% off-center strikes that still show the date and mint mark are highly prized. Another is the clipped planchet, where a portion of the coin looks like it's been bitten off. These coins are not just oddities, they're unique collectibles that often fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on their condition. Another exciting error includes the double die obverse, where letters or Jefferson's features appear to have been stamped twice, slightly shifted. If you see doubling in the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," look again, you might be holding a very valuable piece. Now, how can you identify whether your 1985 P nickel is a jackpot? Start by carefully inspecting both sides of the coin under strong light or a magnifying glass. Check for any unusual shadows or doubling in the text. Look at the Monticello steps, are they fully defined from left to right? Also, check the edges, is the coin perfectly round? If you notice any distortion or off-center alignment, it might be an error strike. Weighing the coin can also help. A standard 1985 nickel should weigh 5 grams. If your coin is significantly lighter or heavier, you may have something struck on the wrong planchet, a super rare mistake. And remember, condition is key. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially those graded MS-65 and above by PCGS or NGC, hold the most value. If you believe you found something rare, get it professionally graded. A certified error or full steps designation can instantly multiply the value of your coin. Now, let's talk real numbers, and this is where it gets truly jaw-dropping. Recently, a 1985p nickel in stunning uncirculated condition with full steps detail and a known strike-through mint error crossed the auction block. The bidding was intense, with collectors recognizing just how scarce such a combination is. And the final sale price, brace yourself, because this little 5-cent coin sold for a staggering $50,000, yes, you heard that right. $50,000 for a 1985 nickel. So what does this mean for you? It means that history, value, and hidden treasure could be closer than you think, maybe even in your pocket right now. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1985p Jefferson nickel is living proof that everyday coins can hide extraordinary secrets. Have you found a 1985p nickel in your change lately? Does it have full steps? Maybe you've noticed something unusual about the design or strike. Drop a comment below, let's talk about it. The coin community is always excited to hear new stories and help identify potential rare finds. Especially, we're talking about one of the most fascinating and surprising coins in American numismatic history, the 1964 Jefferson nickel. And what makes this coin stand out isn't just its design or age, it's the rare minting errors, unusual die varieties, and pristine condition examples that have collectors and auction houses scrambling to get their hands on one. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who's curious about what's in their spare change, listen carefully. This is one of those stories that proves coin collecting is far more exciting than most people imagine. Let's start with some background. The year 1964 was a major turning point in American coinage. Due to rising silver prices and a growing coin shortage, the U.S. Mint increased production dramatically, especially for nickels. In fact, more nickels were produced in 1964 than any other year in U.S. history at the time. The Denver Mint alone struck hundreds of millions of them, which is why most people think these coins are too common to be valuable. But here's the twist: hidden within these massive mintages are rare errors and ultra-high-grade examples that transform an ordinary-looking 1964 nickel into a highly valuable collectible. So what should you be looking for? One of the most important and exciting features collectors seek is the full steps variety. If you turn the coin over and look at Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's famous home, you'll see a small staircase leading up to the building. On most coins, those steps are worn, flat, or incomplete due to weak strikes or overuse of the dies. But if your coin has 5 or 6 full, sharp, and unbroken steps, you're looking at something that's incredibly rare. Coins with full steps are extremely desirable. And if your 1964 nickel has them, especially in high mint state condition, you're already in elite territory. But there's more. Some 1964 nickels were struck with repunched mint marks, where the D mint mark appears to have been stamped more than once in slightly different positions. This is known as an RPM, repunched mint mark, and it's a documented and collectible variety. Some show doubling or shadows under the D, which add serious value to the coin. There are also die breaks, strike-through errors, and even off-center strikes from 1964 nickels that slipped through quality control and ended up in circulation. These types of mint errors are rare, eye-catching, and always in demand by error coin collectors. But the Holy Grail? That would be a 1964 nickel with full steps, a major error or variety, and graded in top condition. We're talking about MS66, MS67, or even higher by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Now let's talk about how to identify one. Start by examining the reverse of the coin with a magnifying glass. Count the steps on Monticello. Are they sharp and complete? That's your first big clue. Next, check the mint mark. Is the D crisp and clean? Or does it look like it was stamped twice? That might indicate a repunched mint mark. Inspect the edges for off-center strikes or odd flattening. These could be signs of a misaligned die. Also, look for cracks or raised lines across the coin. These are die breaks and they make a coin more collectible. And remember, condition is everything. A worn coin with these features might still be interesting, but if your 1964 nickel is in uncirculated condition with luster and sharp detail, it could command serious money. So how serious are we talking? Well, at recent auctions, examples of the 1964D nickel in full steps condition with high mint state grades have sold for thousands of dollars. Add in an error like a double die or off-center strike, and the price climbs even higher. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, one particular 1964D Jefferson nickel, featuring full steps, near-perfect surfaces, and certified by PCGS in a mint state grade, made headlines when it was auctioned to an elite collector for a staggering $150,000. Yes, that's right. $150,000 for a 5-cent coin. This isn't just a story about coin collecting. It's a reminder that treasures still exist in the most unexpected places. Coins like the 1964D nickel represent more than money. They are pieces of history, tiny artworks, and symbols of American craftsmanship. So go check your old coin collection, your change jar, your grandfather's drawer, because you never know. That plain old nickel might just be your golden ticket. Last unique coin, we're talking about a coin that might look ordinary on the outside but has extraordinary secrets hiding in plain sight. Today, let's uncover the mystery of the 1990p Jefferson nickel, a coin that collectors are hunting for and one that has shocked auction houses with its jaw-dropping value. This isn't just any nickel. The 1990p, minted in Philadelphia, is part of a fascinating chapter in American coinage, where design details, minting technology, and production anomalies came together to create something unexpectedly rare. The P mint mark on the obverse of the coin might seem small and subtle, but what lies beneath that design could make all the difference. First, let's understand why this coin is attracting so much attention. At face value, the 1990p Jefferson nickel doesn't appear rare. Millions were minted, and you might still find one in your spare change. But among those millions are hidden gems, coins with full steps, error strikes, and exceptional mint state conditions that take their value from pennies to thousands of dollars. Let's talk about one of the biggest value boosters, the full steps variety. On the reverse of the coin, below Monticello, Jefferson's iconic estate, you'll find a staircase. Most circulated nickels show these steps as worn or blurry due to worn-out dies. But a small number of 1990p nickels were struck with such precision that you can see 5 or 6 full, uninterrupted steps. This is what collectors call full steps, and it's one of the most in-demand features for Jefferson nickel enthusiasts. If your coin has clearly separated, sharply defined steps, it could be extremely valuable, but that's just the beginning. What truly sets some 1990p nickels apart are the mint errors, and trust me, they're more exciting than you might expect. Some of these nickels were misstruck, leading to off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and even clipped planchets. These minting mistakes are rare and often happen when the coin blank isn't properly seated in the press or when debris interferes with the strike. Take for example the off-center strike, when the design is noticeably shifted away from the center of the coin, leaving a crescent of blank metal on one side. Or the double die obverse, where design elements like, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," appear to be stamped twice, slightly offset. These types of errors are incredibly collectible because they visually stand out and are easy to identify even for beginner collectors. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The value of your 1990p nickel depends on 3 key factors: rarity, condition, and grade. If your coin features full steps, has no post-mint damage, and scores a high grade like MS65 or above from reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC, you could be looking at a truly significant piece. Collectors and investors alike are paying big money for coins in pristine condition. In recent years, several high-grade 1990p nickels with full steps and verified errors have sold for thousands at auction. These sales aren't just stories, they're proof that hidden treasures still exist in the world of pocket change. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, a pristine, uncirculated 1990p Jefferson nickel, featuring full steps and graded at the top tier by PCGS, combined with a dramatic die error, recently made waves in the numismatic community when it sold at auction for a staggering $44,000. Yes, you heard that right, $44,000 for a 5-cent coin. So, what does this mean for you? It means you could already be sitting on a miniature fortune without even knowing it. Check your coin jars, your wallet, or those old coin rolls you've stashed away. That plain nickel might be a key to unlocking serious value, and if you think you found something special, or you're not sure what you have, take the next step, get it professionally graded. Certification is what transforms speculation into value. Grading services like PCGS and NGC will examine your coin, confirm its authenticity, and assign it a grade that can make all the difference when it comes time to sell. Collectors, if you've got a 1990p nickel in your collection, go give it another look. And if you've ever found one with sharp steps, odd markings, or strange edges, we want to hear your story. Drop a comment below, share a photo, or ask your questions. This community is here to help you uncover the value of what you might already own. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for more deep dives into valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Your next great discovery might just be one coin flip away, because the humble 1990p nickel, once thought ordinary, might just be your $44,000 surprise.